Hi, everyone, and welcome to the FrenchEntrée YouTube channel. My name is Zoe, and I'm joined today by Tom and Dori, an American couple from Colorado, who you may recognize as they joined us on the channel a few months back. Tom and Dori have been working with our partners at French Connections HCB, who are relocation specialists that assist with all of the behind-the-scenes details for people moving to France. So welcome back, Tom and Dori. Lovely to see you both again.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
So the last time we spoke, you were actually just about to head over to France to look at some properties. From what I hear, that visit went very well. So can you fill us in on what happened next?
Well, yeah, we actually had a property in mind before we went to France, but we did want to talk with French Connections and look at other possibilities and so on. The property that we had seen online and that we liked, we ended up purchasing, and we just completed that 3 days ago. Completed the purchase.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we now have a contract with French Connections to reconstruct the building. It's old and not in habitable shape at the moment, but we have laid out plans to rebuild that, and we expect that the work is actually already beginning. So we're very happy about that.
Amazing. That's so exciting. Yeah, congratulations on the property purchase. So can you tell us a little bit about the property? Whereabouts did you buy, for example?
Yeah, we bought in Mirande, small town, about an hour and a half west of Toulouse. It's in the Gascogne region, about 2 hours from the Pyrenees, about 2.5 hours from the coast. Beautiful area with rolling hills and forests, and very suburban, very rural. It's a small town, but that's kind of what we were after. We didn't really want to get into a large city. And the building itself, I do not know the exact age of it, but it's old. We had heard at one point it's at least 100 years old. Mostly stone and stucco. And as I say, it's not really habitable at the moment. No one's been living in it for quite some time, and we've laid out plans to rebuild that, redo it almost entirely. It is in the center of Mirande. It's about a 3-minute walk from the local square where the market is held twice a week. It's just in the middle of everything. So we're very pleased about that.
Wow, that sounds idyllic.
Yes.
So how did you find the buying process in France? Were there any aspects that you found different to what you were used to in the United States?
Go ahead.
It's slower.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I think you definitely have to get used to the pace. Is much slower, and different. But other than that, everything is in French, of course.
Yes.
The documents. Everything's in French. What else?
Well, French Connections took the place of a realtor for us, basically, and so they have guided us through the purchase process entirely, and helped translate documents, helped answer any questions that we might have. They actually were there at the closing for us because we're still in Colorado right now. In that we slept through the actual closing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it was late there early here.
Of course, yeah.
But they've guided us through the whole thing, and it's been actually, other than sending money, it's been fairly painless. But I guess that's the best analogy I can give. They took the place of what we use a realtor for here to put all the documents together, make sure everything's in order, help us do anything else we needed to do. So it's been fairly painless, actually. Yeah.
Well, it was a smoother process than I expected, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does sound like you had a very smooth process, and that's really great to hear, and probably very reassuring for people going into that themselves. So tell us a little bit about the next step with the project. I know you said you're heading into a big renovation project. When is that starting, and what sort of timeline are you looking at, and what kind of work are you carrying out?
Yeah, they've already begun. I mean, they're completely stripping the inside of the house, um, uh, resupporting the foundation, changing the plumbing and so on and so forth. There's a little courtyard and a garage. We're going to renovate the garage, make that into a separate apartment.
Oh, lovely.
But French Connections has a construction team that is actually in there doing the work now. They're sending us videos every morning of the progress of the day. And Tony, the construction manager, we get on video chats with him every other day or so, well, every few days, and make sure that we're all on track as to what we want. But when we first established the contract with them, we put together an overall plan of this is how many bedrooms we'll have, bathrooms, et cetera, et cetera. So they're hard at work doing that. We're really happy. They've torn away a lot of the old wallpaper and so on the walls and revealed stone and beams underneath, which will give it a lot more character, and so it looks like it's going to be just ideal for us.
We're trying to keep as much of the original as we can for, the character and the feel. And so the stone and the beams and, things like that. And, like Tom said, we had, planned things out, and I had developed some Pinterest pages of that they had asked me to do with some types of items, things like colors and furniture, things like that, to give them an idea to help guide them, just our tastes, in particular. So, I mean, it's been great so far.
Yep.
That's really exciting. Now we're actually going to be following along in this process with you, and we will be checking back in with you as the work progresses. So I'm really looking forward to that. But I'd love to hear a bit about how you're feeling about this right now, heading into this. Are you excited, a little nervous, perhaps? And are there any particular concerns or worries that you have?
Yes to both. It's
very understandable.
It's very exciting, but it is. It is, I mean, there is that element of stress there. It's a little, anxiety provoking, but very, very exciting. And, I do have to say, I mean, I think that just comes from, that it is long distance, but I feel very, very comfortable and confident with their support and with what's going on. It's been that part is wonderful. I think, it's just natural to have a little bit of anxiety, but it's been great so far.
Yeah, I'd say this too. We're still not certain exactly, are we going to move permanently? Are we going to rent some of the time, rent the place out for a bit? We don't know yet. We're building it sort of as a lock and leave, and because it's in a small town and so on, we feel like we could just go there, stay a while, lock it up, come home, come back to the States. We're just not sure exactly yet what we're going to call permanent home. So that is a source of anxiety. But they are telling us that they will have it done by the end of July.
Oh, wow. That's very soon.
So we are planning a trip over in September to go ahead and get a look at it and get it all outfitted and so on. We do not have our long-term visas yet. That's another question as to when do we do that, and when do we plan, what are our long-term plans? Will we do that and follow it with a carte de séjour, or just go back and forth for a while? So we just want to get it built first. We'll go over and stay a while and see what it looks like, and then make some decisions from there.
That sounds great. And yeah, I think that, you have time to be able to do that. And that sounds like a very smart decision is to just enjoy your house as a second home for the time being and see,
Right.
there's time for that. So one last question about the property. I won't get you to quote any exact figures or anything, but how have you found it in terms of cost buying over in France and entering into this renovation process? How do the costs compare to the US? And is that something you found affordable over there, or any hidden costs or fees that have come up?
I think it's definitely cheaper. The market here in the U.S. over the last couple of years had been so hot, and prices were just exorbitant. That has cooled off somewhat here, but I don't have a good feel for the trend in France. But overall, yeah, I think it's definitely cheaper. We know that our property taxes will be probably a tenth of what we're paying here in the United States. We're just getting into the insurance and the utilities and that sort of thing. So I am told those will be much cheaper than what we're used to paying here. But we're just beginning to delve into all that. And no, we haven't had any unexpected costs yet. That's another thing French Connections has been very good about in letting us know ahead of time what's going to happen. This is what you should expect, et cetera. So we've had no surprises there.
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
No, that's really good to know. And yeah, absolutely. Preparation is key, I think. So if you are prepared, it normally is quite a smooth process. But that's very interesting to hear the comparison with the US. So finally, at this stage, do you have any advice or recommendations for Americans that are looking to follow in your footsteps?
I would definitely recommend using, some sort of relocation company or specialist. It's daunting, I think, to do it on your own. I know many people do. And there's, we watched in preparation for this process, we had watched, spent years, actually quite a while, watching, videos of other people and the process and doing things and, researching. And for me personally, I think it has made it much easier. I would have been much more nervous trying to do this on my own. And I don't know that, honestly, I don't know that we would have attempted it.
Yeah. Unless you're absolutely fluent in French and you understand all the policies and procedures and so on ahead of time. I don't see any way you could do this without a relocation specialist.
Even just, really simple things of, that you have to get permission for, especially when you're doing a renovation project, from the mairie. And I mean, it was I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just very simple things.
Yeah, it's true. There is a very sort of specific process to go through in France, which as a foreigner, of course, you wouldn't be aware of that. And if your French is not up to scratch, then that could be definitely a pitfall.
Right.
Well, Dori and Tom, thanks so much for talking to me today. And I wish you all the best of luck with the property renovation. And I can't wait to catch up with you both soon and hear how you've been getting on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here. We'll be happy to talk.